Hello and welcome to the Classical Guitar LPs podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Powell. We welcome you to the third season of the podcast. And to open up the third season, we've got a really great record here called The New World of the Guitar. The guitarist is Laurindo Almeida. This is from the year 1957, and it's on Capitol Records P8392. This has really been a fun labor of love for me, and I've really enjoyed just the whole notion of digging through these records and looking up the guitarists if I don't know who they are, and checking out some of the obscure composers and such that are on here. And this record is exactly in the line of that. So it's very, very exciting. We're going to hear some very unique music and great playing by a great guitarist in Laurindo Almeida. So thanks for listening. We'll be right back. Once again, thanks for listening to the Classical Guitar LPs podcast. So to open up season 3, like I had commented, we're going to listen to The New World of the Guitar. The guitarist is Laurindo Almeida, and most people, if you're just a music aficionado, you probably know Laurindo Almeida from being in the Modern Jazz Quartet. In certain circles, he is really well known, and I think if you'd ask some younger classical guitarists who Laurindo was, they may not know, and so I think he's a bigger name among the jazzers that are out there. Just a fun fact, I guess, to bring up. Also, I know I've mentioned before, but Laurindo is instrumental in creating the art form of bossa nova, so that's quite a feather in one's cap to be able to have that associated with your name as well. And so, anyway, as we begin the recording, we've got a really a great rendition of the Castelnuovo Tedesco piece called Tarantella. This was most recently heard on the Oscar Helia recording, which closed out our, didn't close out, but almost closed out our last season. And so you can just hear some differences in interpretation, and it's neat. That's one of the joys, that's one of the great joys about classical music in general, is that one of the things that we as the listener get to observe are the differences that the player brings to the forefront. So it's great to hear a different interpretation of that piece, the Tarantella. We follow that up with a lovely suite that I have heard of. I have seen other people have done this recording. Have I listened to it an awful lot? No. And I must say that after listening to Laurindo's rendition of this, I am very intrigued and will be considering performing this piece in person. And so I'll skip right to it. It's the Miniature Suite by John Duarte. John Duarte, of course, has written a lot of guitar music, and he was very much in the Segovia camp of things, with the association with the summer master classes in Italy and writing many pieces for Segovia himself. But anyway, the Miniature Suite is beautiful. Holy cow, this is a great piece, just a treasure. We've got some these movements, Aeolian Air, then we have Cradle Song, and we have Night Wind on the Heath. And it's just, and we finish up with a movement called Country Dance, and it's the piece is a treat. I really hope you enjoy the Miniature Suite by John Duarte. The piece that rounds out side A is by the English composer Albert Harris, someone who I was not tremendously familiar with. He writes a piece called Sonatina that's on this piece. It's a beautiful work. I really enjoy it. And so, the Sonatina, that implies that there are several things that are going to happen in terms of form, and it does not disappoint with that. So a traditional Sonatina, and enjoy this first side. It's a great recording. The actual record that I picked up, I believe this is a garage sale find. I don't have any of the usual identifiers that means it's from the Planned Parenthood book sale, so I'm pretty much guaranteed this is a garage sale find. So enjoy side 1 of Laurindo Almeida, The New World of the Guitar from 1957 on Capitol Records. Enjoy. Well, I certainly hope that you enjoyed listening to side one of The New World of the Guitar. It's a great record, and as we flip the record over, we see a really, really cool piece. This is a great interpretation. The work is called Sonata, and it's by Turina. I know that I've visited before about one of the first recordings I ever listened to with regard to classical guitar. That recording was not on a record, being that I started in the school year of 1991 and 92, so LPs weren't, they were around, but anyway, not to digress. I had a CD. My first classical guitar recording was a CD called Noches de España with Pepe Romero playing, and this piece is on there, and I just remember going, oh, how does he do that? I'm often felt wondering that with Pepe. This rendition of the Sonata by Turina is not quite as technically dazzling and astounding, but I still, after I hear Laurindo's playing, I still think, how did he do that? It's a great piece. It's very inspirational, wonderful piece of music, and so really enjoy that rendition of that work. The next band is Rodrigo en los Triagales. And so we have some really nice pieces with that. I think of the representative works of Rodrigo, these are probably not my favorite, but they are indeed beautiful. I'm really a stickler for the Concierto de Aranjuez. In 1957, that piece wouldn't have been that old. By that time, and so anyway, I'm sure it was new material by Rodrigo. We finish up with some Manuel Maria Ponce preludes, and anyway, we have number 2, 5, 8, 10, 11, and 12. And these are sort of small miniatures that really almost correspond in a strange way with one of the LPs we listened to back in season 2 with the Oscar Helia ones. Anyway, at the time that these were recorded in 1957, it says that Mr. Almeida has selected the 6 that have never been previously recorded. Isn't that interesting? Can you believe that there was a time when that was actually possible? Of course, those are cornerstones of the repertoire, and not many classical guitar players are unfamiliar with them. So enjoy this second side. Enjoy the playing. His tone is so smooth, and it just sounds so experienced and full, and it's just a treat to hear this guy play. I love his playing. I love this record. The actual quality of the LP itself is pretty good. I got some new old stock record cleaning kit. It's a thing that was old stock from 1978. I got it off of Facebook Marketplace. What a hoot that was. And anyway, so I'm using the old velour things to clean off these records before we're recording, and they're just sounding really great. So anyway, before I get to babbling, please enjoy side 2 of The New World of the Guitar. I'll take this opportunity also to just give another call out. If you are listening to this podcast and if you enjoy, I would ask you to consider being a benefactor of this show. If you go to anchor.fm/Powell Guitar, there are places where you can become a sponsor. I would be very interested in hearing from you if you are able to do that. I would love to have some financial support for this program so I can upgrade some of this equipment that I'm using and cobbled together. Everything is sounding a lot better in these next episodes that have happened, but in any case, consider doing that. If you want to just get to where you can visit with me and say, hey, I'm listening to you from this area, please do that as well. I know that there's quite a listenership in Denmark, of all places. That may have been why I chose the Amsterdam Guitar Trio to close out season 2. But anyway, let me know where you're listening to and where from. And thanks for listening and happy playing. We'll see you around.
Thank you.